Hi, welcome back, and today I'm going to talk about the cost of living in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, and start out with the cost of my apartment when I was there. My apartment, the monthly rent was $680. I lived in a nice, really nice apartment. It was decorated very nice, fully furnished. Had a balcony upstairs. It had a terrazza up about like a third floor height. It was a 2-story apartment. The bedroom and the bathroom was upstairs, kitchen downstairs, and living room was downstairs. It was pretty cool. I really liked it. It was on a private drive, and the owner was from Seattle. Now, I'm making this video to say that I occasionally get curious because I'm going to be going back to San Miguel de Allende or another city in Mexico. I'm not sure yet, but because I've been to quite a few cities in Mexico. But I did stay in San Miguel de Allende for 6 months, and this is where my budget is coming from. And then I'm going to make another video. It's going to be a budget of in Ajijic. Okay, so Mexico. So I'll do that at another time. But right now, San Miguel de Allende, $680. I think now it's $500 because of the pandemic. So it looks pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty reasonable because it's fully, all utilities fully furnished, and television, cable included for the $680 I paid, which is now, I think, going for $500. But I heard a Marine got it. I talked to the next door neighbors, and a Marine has got the apartment. Now, I don't know how long he'll be there, if it'll be open, but I'm sure you can find someplace in San Miguel de Allende if you go on the internet or Airbnb or however you do it. So anyway, that $680 included all utilities, fully furnished, etc. But the water, the drinking water, comes in these big jugs. They're huge. I forgot how many gallons they are. The landlord has them delivered, and you just go take one, roll it in your apartment, or pick it up on your shoulder and put it in there, and you have your drinking water and your water for boiling. Whatever you want to boil on the stove, okay. But the other water is good for showers and washing dishes. I found out I never had a problem. Neither did my neighbors. Getting a little chilly, excuse me. Then a housekeeper. I got the housekeeper from the people next door, the couple, the U.S. couple. They told me, or they recommended that I use their housekeeper because I needed to get a housekeeper. I could have done it myself, but so inexpensive to get a housekeeper. That was once a week for 2 hours, and that cost me $48 for the housekeeper. Okay, so the rent, the housekeeper, and the water all was $734. Now, I was living in a pretty nice neighborhood, on a private drive, and great landlord. Couldn't ask for a better landlord. I'm telling you, you couldn't ask for no better landlord than him. And now we'll get to my taxis. And my taxis averaged, well, first they were $150 for the first month because I was using taxis a lot. I didn't know how to get to some places. Then I found out there were buses that get me to the large supermarkets or the organic market there that has a restaurant, and I would bring my groceries. I would take the cabs back from the grocery store because they had a lot of stuff usually or something. Or it depends on what I had. If it was like ice cream, I didn't want to melt taking the bus back. No, so I was getting starting to learn that where the bus stops were, and that I could take a bus there instead. So that was only 7 pesos, which is about 35 cents. So, that was great. And that was great. So I cut down my expenses. However, I take taxis at night. a lot. I would take taxis. Like, I'd stay out. I'd go to nightclubs and different things and karaoke's and movies and different things, whatever I was doing, other social things. And I wait, probably it was like 10 o'clock. I would just take a taxi back, you know. I'd catch one of the later taxis back, and I'd catch a taxi back. So I, you know, I built up some taxi bills. Okay, I averaged that out to be about a pretty good estimate is $120 a month. But someone else's doesn't, because I went out 5 nights a week, you know, and then I went to other places in town, and I did walk a lot. I took buses, but I was just around. I wasn't in the house much, you know, so I'd watch a little TV when I was drawing. It'd be playing in the background and the news, and I started drawing again. So that kept me home at least 2 or 3 nights a week. But I'll say an average of being out 5 nights a week and taking taxis. Okay, groceries, $140 a week. And I could have kept it even maybe a little less than that. I was buying fruit from the La Comer, big, huge, super mega market over there. It's a big supermarket and a store. It's kind of like a store, like a Walmart, but I think it's better. I like it better than a Walmart. But it's a little bit more expensive than a Walmart. But I would buy food there, and it was a little bit, depending on what I got. So, but $140 a month for groceries. And I'll tell you how why, because I ate in a lot of restaurants too. Now, I could have done the restaurant thing, and the grocery store thing would have been reduced quite a bit if I would have went to the mercados, the markets, the outdoor markets, or, you know, places like that to get my fruit and my vegetables. And for people who eat meat, you know, you can get them in these markets. But I was just, you know, the big supermarkets. So restaurants, that was a big expense. I'm a single guy, but I spent $100 a week in restaurants. And, you know, I looked at that and I said, you know, that's a lot of money. But you know what? Compared to what I was eating twice a day. And I was going out every day eating, you know. And then I'd cook one meal at the apartment once in a while. But I eat quite a bit at restaurants, and that's a lot. I mean, but it's really, it wouldn't cost a single person that much. You know, I'd go to a lot of mid-range restaurants, a couple high-range price restaurants, but, and then I'd eat sometimes at the taco stand on occasion, you know, or other places that were less expensive. So, but $400, and like I said, you don't have to spend $400. It's not necessary. You could eat less expensive meals or not go out as much, you know, because I was out, like I said, 2 meals a day average in restaurants. Okay, now we're done with that. We're at $1,394. And entertainment, it was $200 a month. It's a pretty fair estimate. These are all pretty fair estimates. And like I said, I went out a lot. I went to concerts. You know, I might pay $15 to go to a concert, which is up here in the U.S. the same type of music, or if you can get it, it would be about double or triple that. You know, it would be triple. So I'd spend like $10, $15, $20, or average like 15 at some of these concerts. But then there's restaurants that have their like nightclubs. They have music too, you know, and they still serve food, and the bands are playing, and sometimes there's a cover charge, sometimes there's not. But sometimes there's a tip jar, someone will have it at the front of the stage. Sometimes they'll pass the guitar case around or whatever. But I've seen 10 bands that have 10 people playing in the group, you know, and it's amazing. I've seen gypsy jazz, I've seen jazz, I've seen rock, I've seen folk, I've seen salsa, I've seen, yeah, I don't know, there's probably more. I've seen a lot, you know, flamenco. I've seen a lot of music. So I spent, but I don't drink, so probably would have spent more if I drank alcohol. I drink like these limonadas. They're a lemon lime drink. And I always tell them, put a little bit less sugar. Don't put too much sugar. Or I drink Coke when I go. Coke. So I didn't have like, you know, being that I don't drink, I didn't drink like 4 shots of tequila and build up the bill and things. And I'm single, and I didn't drink anything, just Coke and limonada. So I kept the bill down that way. But I always tip well. I think just because I'm not drinking alcohol doesn't mean I can't tip. I would tip as well as I tip really good because I know I'm not drinking alcohol and I'm, you know, taking up a spot or whatever. And they don't even care. You know what? I'll be honest with you. They don't care if you spend a lot there or not. You go in there and, you know, there's not like a $5 minimum, not in the places I was at in San Miguel. Or I think there was one place that might have been like that, but that was a really expensive restaurant. And they had a good jazz group there too. But, you know, no one pushes you, puts the bill here, like, let's go, you know. No, they wait for you to call for the bill. So you always feel free. You don't feel like you're pressured to leave or anything like that or spend a lot of money. You're just welcome. Everybody, you know, everybody's like treated equal. And you're welcome all the time. So it's always great. Okay, so it comes up to about $1,600. Now, I want to say I would give people who needed money. You know, I do that up here in the U.S. Sometimes, you know, I do it when I can. I mean, when I see a good situation. I'm not going to give it to someone who's, you know, that's going to do bad things with the money. So, and I can't ever tell anyway. But Mexico's different. Talking about Mexico, you know, I see a guy he's got a half a leg and he's got crutches, you know, and I used to see this guy every day. So I always give him something every day, you know, and I'd buy him a Pepsi. He liked Pepsis, you know, and then I'd give him a little bit extra money or something. But, you know, whatever I could. If, you know, you help someone, you get a little bit extra money. If you want to help somebody, help them out. If you think you got it or whatever. So let's say $1,700. So it was $1,594 round off $1,600. Say with giving people away about $100 a month. But then I might have thrown some other a little bit of an expense. So I'm going to say anywhere between $1,700 and $1,800 a month. And that's what it costs me to live. That's an accurate estimate. And I live pretty good, so I spend a lot of money. A lot of people don't spend as much money like I do. So, I mean, you get a lot for your money. You're going to get a lot for your money. So, you'll probably spend less than me. Oh, one other thing. One of the reasons I'm making this video is because I was looking throughout this past year. I hadn't gone to Mexico during the pandemic, and I've been looking at the apartment. It shows up every now and then when it's available, and they reduce the price by about 20%. You know, and I think it was going for $500 with all the utilities. You know, and I think it's because of the pandemic, because they're trying to get people in there. Could be for another reason, but it's a great apartment, and there's other beautiful apartments over there. So I think. No, I can't say I think things are going to go up after, as more people start going back. That's probably a good possibility because things are usually more expensive during the high season, like October to March or something like that. I don't know the exact months, but I think those are so you're going to, maybe they'll bump it back up to, $680. I don't know. It's worth it to me, $680. You know, I mean, but I wouldn't mind getting it for $500. You know, but I check these things I'm curious. And the same thing has gone on in Ajijic with some of the rents. Not everywhere, but it might be because of the pandemic. Because if it was because it was the low season, it was during the high season that the rents even went down. So usually in the high season, you know, it's higher, but it was lower in the high season. And that's what makes me think it was the pandemic, because a lot of people left Mexico, and and I think a lot are going back. I look around at different cities and different things. I go down the internet. So with that, I'll say adios and thanks for listening. And I hope you got something out of it. And the thing is, you can do this. If you can do this for less money than I did, because once again, if you're spending $400 a month in restaurants and all this entertainment money and taking a lot of taxis, which I walked a lot, but I take taxis back from town, you know. But I was out, and I did drawing, and I stayed home too. There were times when I stayed home and I didn't watch all those good channels. But you know what? I used to listen to the news channels when I was doing my artwork. So, you know, that was really good. I really enjoyed that place. It was wonderful. It was a great place. So, okay, with that, I'm talking a lot. But whatever you do, enjoy yourself. And thank you. Thank you. Adios. Hasta luego. And buenas noches. Bye.